All right, so if you're watching this, you are participating with our mock primary ballot that we're doing here at Sunnyvale. This is an educational tool to kind of give all of our students and even staff members, if they so choose, a chance to get a preview of what the primary is going to be about. So this is a quick introduction and won't be very long. I do want to specify that the mock primary ballot that I've created does not include all issues, does not include all candidates. Understand that there's different precincts, and sometimes that affects what's going to be on the ballot. These sample ballots come from the Dallas County Elections organization, and so this shows for the entire Dallas County. So depending on where you live in Dallas County, it may affect like who's specifically on the ballot. And obviously if you live like in Kaufman County or someplace like that, then your ballot's going to look a little bit differently. The big thing I want to note is that that you have several candidates. This is the Democratic ballot. Notice that you have a lot of candidates here. Several of whom you probably have not heard of. On our ballot, I didn't include some of these names like Willie Wilson and Rocky De La Fuente because these are people that are not running a true national campaign. They're just on the Texas primary. So I kept it to just the national candidates. And so you'll have basically 3 candidates on the Democratic side. You have some people running for the Democratic on the Democratic ticket trying to get a primary vote so they can run in the general election. And I didn't include, there's really not that many as far as the Democrats are concerned. I did include, if you look farther down, there's a few issues that are representative of Democratic concerns. This is basically perceived as kind of like if you vote in the Democratic primary, are you going to support this agenda if the Democratic Party argues for that? The idea is that if you're voting in the Democratic primary, you're probably leaning positively towards these issues, and you get to vote for or against them. But they don't want to assume that everybody thinks the same way. Now, obviously, if you're voting in a Democratic primary because you want to skew the results, which can happen sometimes, you would probably vote against those. And so that's just kind of an interesting side note. Then you have the Republican ballot, same situation here. This is a generic Dallas County ballot. It's going to vary some based on precinct. You can see that on the presidential candidates, there's a number of people who have already dropped out. Lindsey Graham, Rand Paul, you know, and there's also a few names on here that we aren't really familiar with. I also included on our sample ballot the comment of uncommitted, since that is an option here with the Republicans. And I even included that on the Democratic side, although that wasn't listed on the Democratic ballot. I did include on the Republican side the state representative, the contest between Cindy Burkett and Booz, whatever his name is. I did include that on there, as well as a few of the issues that are listed here on the Republican ballot. So I encourage you to go to DallasCountyVotes.org and you can see these sample ballots and get an idea for what's going to be on the ballot in your precinct. Students, I hope that you understand that this primary election is basically to choose who will run for the presidency. This is part of our process to prevent like one single person saying, I choose this person to run for president and I choose this person to run for representative. So we, the people, get to have a say in who's going to be on the ballots. And so that's really what this process is. It's also a way for us to have a say in what the political party of our choice, the political party of our leaning, what that stands for. Obviously, sometimes people choose to vote, to jump parties and vote differently in the primary. That can happen. And so sometimes that skews the results. So just keep that in mind. And I hope that you'll have some interesting conversations with your parents at home. And I will let everyone know what the results of our mock primary was here in